Why is every liberative soteriology not a pill to escape reality? Why is every liberative soteriology individualistic in the sense of mature individuation? Because you cannot relegate responsibility for your spiritual liberative soteriology to any institution, to any religious group, to any communitas. Why so? Because according to tradition and chain of initiations, that requires hard work, commitment, mysteriosophy, occult, magical work, hidden sacraments on the mind, soul, and spirit and heart, in order to be of any worth posthumously to pursue this soteriology. Anyone telling you, I am the truth, is a liar. They have no right to claim objective truth. Realizations in the Buddhist or Hindi sense bring you closer to proportional ratios of approximating certain theories, doxas, doxologies, opinions about divinities, gods and goddesses, opinions, mortal opinions. Now, what works, works. And for example, in Neoplatonic, mid-Neoplatonic underground theurgy, if theurgy worked and brought about effects of homoiosis theo, working on gnosis aretos, and beginning the work with the gods, theon ergon, as they impress themselves upon us, then that is a success. It is not the success of a group, but of an individual, always an individual. Within a group, certain individuals may be trained that become masters. As one Soto Zen monk, I think it was Dogen, said, without 1,000 monks, there are no masters. And masters that do not train disciples that surpass them are failed masters, because they didn't convey the rituals, the transmission properly. Now, in the modern era, there are plenty of religious groups, para-religious groups, sects, sectarians, all forms of New Age groupings that want you to believe this or that. That often in either community standards reach for nothing apart from being worshippers of this ideology, religion, politics, whatever, or they're completely ultra-relativistic individualists who do not individuate. They are in a supermarket of French ideas, for example, New Agers, that cannot measure their success in hermetic ways, or the Abhau, right? So how will you know? You will know if you progress. You will know if you mature. You will know if gods respond and lift you up. And this is an appeal to the mature individuals who pursue occult or magical or hermetic paths, who probably already know it. That conveying the knowledge to others or casting pearls among swine, to make it biblical, is pointless. If you don't find apt minds, and people have various minds, the low minds that are learning nothing, the middle minds that are learning to recreate certain initiations and mysteries, and the high minds that have direct contact with deities and are capable of initiating themselves, and then catching this golden thread and following the gods as they work upon them all the time. So much for metaphysics. So in the religious metaphysical business on earth, apart from French fanatics and religious groupings, we have also atheists, people that undermine all of it, naive realists, materialists, reductionists, because most religions compromise themselves, especially Judeo-Christianity, by illogical irrationalities. And all progress, all liberative soteriology must be reasoned, skeptical, ordered. That's why it is a hermetic science, a hermetic art, if you will. So what is the point in leaving all this information behind? Because this information is for some people to inspire them to search for themselves, to be skeptical, to doubt, but to see that there are certain possibilities that someone went through this path. So, as such, I discard all groupings, sectarians, paramasonic organizations, all forms of lies of some Jew on the cross. I don't give a fuck. My success is metaphysical. It is perhaps subjective, but it is confirmed by many technological magic out of Aeneas' theogonies. In other words, I have enough intensive experience that perhaps is subjective, sometimes intersubjective, to know that I'm on the correct path. Is my path correct for everyone? Absolutely not. Because individuation is something that you pursue yourself, and you need to incorporate certain hermetic realizations and values and arete within yourself, measured by your own individuated path. That's why in the Greece and Rome, in ancient times, people traveled to many cultic centers to be initiated into mysteries of Isis, Metroach Magna Mater, into mysteries of Demeter, Andanian mysteries, into the Eleusinian mysteries, into the Metraic mysteries, into Anibasiaca mysteries, into pontifical mysteries of Jupiter or Mars, and so on and so on, into Dracontes mysteries. People traveled far and wide in order to receive those initiations, to maximize their potential at understanding themselves, affirming their lives in beauty, truth, honesty, and greatness, and nobility. Not bashing your life or your physical body, because that's insane. But affirming this life, overcoming obstacles, overcoming pain, and pursuing the path, so that after you die, you may continue your existence, perhaps not in a blissed state, but not in a hellish state either. In a state of eudaimonic duties and great responsibilities bestowed upon you by the dignitaries of the planetary spheres, intelligences, gods and goddesses. I can't imagine a greater coward than someone who imagines that after the toil of life, he'll go into oblivion of just being happy and bliss. That's rather pointless. I find it heroic to commit yourself in this large solar system, star system, amongst the thrones of God, to commit to great works, great labors, much greater than that of mortal life. And mortal life is sometimes a preparation, if you initiate correctly, individuate correctly. Liberation is not a pill to escape. Liberation from what? Liberation from your flesh that is sometimes suffering, sometimes in pain, sometimes in war, sometimes in happiness. And you affirm it in life, you don't escape from it. But when you die, you are liberated from many obstacles that are between you and the gods. And that is the definition of liberation. Hence, Pater Liber, Mater Victoria. Father Freedom, Mother Victory. Thank you.